split this session into three categories. We have three different speakers. So the first speaker will be Mr. Mohammad Rahmat Ali, who is a PhD in computer science, and the next speaker will be Mr. Abdul Subhan, who is senior software engineer, and then we have last speaker, Mr. Nadimuddin, who is senior network security engineer. So we'll start our program. I hand over the to Mr. Rahmat Ali to proceed further. Mr. Rahmat Ali is going to give overview how to prepare in this situation, like educational aspects he is going to cover. He is a PhD in computer science and he is expert in cyber security, and he is a motivational speaker, and he is joined with NGOs like ITA and AL-khair Society, SIO, different organization he is in touch. I request Mr. Rahmat to proceed further.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before I start my session, Brother Abdul Subhan, can you please check your inbox with reference to Zoom? Please check the inbox.
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me start the session with the recitation of Surah Al-Fatiha. It's a general practice across the globe to start the session with Surah Al-Fatiha and end the session with Surah Al-Asr. So let me recite this, let me start this program. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal lazina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Ameen. So let me begin our session, and let me start our session. Brother Abdul Subhan, can you please let me share my screen, please?
Yeah, you can share your screen. I have given access to you.
Okay, sir. So can everyone see my screen?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir.
Okay. So the topic for today's session is with reference to the effective preparation during the month of Ramadan and during this second wave of pandemic, wherein you all are being in the homes, studying from home and giving exams online. And this academic year is a unique academic year in which you will have been going through all those scenarios wherein your seniors, your super seniors, neither your juniors will go through all these things, because you started your class 10th or class 11th or class 12th with online sessions, because you have been promoted last year to be in class 10th, class 11th or class 12th. Now, the basic thing is if at all, if you see your parents, the first thing which your parents says is, if at all, if you clear your SSC, that is your first stepping stone of your success. That's the first stepping stone. So now, as class 10th, class 11th or class 12 is the first stepping stone for your career, then what should be the different measures by which I can prepare for this particular examination? We are not considering the thing that the exam will not happen. We are not considering the thing that the exam will be there or there will be a cut down in the syllabus, X, Y, Z type of thing. So we are bothered only about how well we can prepare with reference to the examination. Now, the word exams creates a panic. The word exam creates a panic, and it allows students to think that they are going to undergo a process wherein they will be undergoing a thing which they cannot do. Actually, they can do it. But they are not aware of doing all those things. For instance, let me take an example that in today's session that I am taking, if at all, if I suddenly say that today I'll not be taking a session, you will be having an examination. How many of your students will be clearing that particular exams? Approximately about 60 to 65 students will be clearing the examination. The same thing, if at all, if I say from the past 1 week, like tomorrow you will be having exam, tomorrow you will be having exam, on that particular day you will be having exam, on 17th you will be having exam, on 12th you will be having exam. If at all, if I continuously pressurize these things, then your effectiveness to prepare for that particular exam will get reduced. If at all, if I'm taking a slip test at a sudden moment of time, 60 to 65 students will get passed. If at all, if I'm taking exams, after saying continuously, the chances of students clearing that exam will be approximately about 45 to 50. So this is the mental state of students while preparing for the exams, while facing the exams, and with reference to preparing the things. But because, see, it's a general example that everyone gives. If at all, if you're reading a book, of, let's consider science, you're studying biology, you're studying physics, you're studying mathematics, how you will study? We'll study in such a way that we will cram those things, we'll mug up those things so that we can write the best in the examination. But this is not the case. The main objective of education is to make you learn what actually the things is and how well you can understand that particular thing. During my session, I'll be saying some of the things which will not be related to you, but it is very efficient for your future. Now, the first thing which comes into the mind, or the first thing which is like, exams are just a few days away, and it can be a stressful time for both students and parents, especially now since the students are stuck at home. But because, see, if at all if you have been to school, if at all if you have been to any of the tuition center, if at all if you have been to any of the training institute, then you will be continuously getting under trained. Whether you are studying or not, that's the secondary part. But as you are into a continuous process, you will be undergoing a training. Which will help you to write the exam very well. अब जैसे कि मिसाल के तौर पर मैं ये कहूँ कि अगर आप किसी इतर की दुकान पर जाएं, आप अतर खरीदे भी ना हो, तो आप जब अतर की दुकान से वापस निकलेंगे, when you come back from that shop, you will be smelling that particular perfume, though you have not bought that perfume. Why? Because you have been into that particular environment. The same way, as you are away from that particular scenario, you will not be a part of it. So it will be a difficult part for you to undergo or to write that particular thing. As you are not writing the exams physically, it will be a bit difficult for you to appear for the examination as a physical part. But because you have been habituated of writing online examination, and all of us know like how you will be writing online exams. Google and internet is the best support while you are writing the examination. And many of the people, not only in schools, not only in engineering colleges, many of the national, international examinations which we write online, are written with the help of this particular tool called as Google, or Google Baba will help in the best of the way. So it is a difficult part. So the why I'm telling you all those things, the reason I'm telling you all those things is to make your mind in efficient way that you can do it. Now the second thing is like, what are the different questions in your mind? The first question which comes in your mind is like, how much time should I spend in studying? The second thing is like, how do I combat my tiredness in Ramzan? Like this all scenarios with reference to Ramzan. And the last one is like, how should I start revising? These are the three major problems with reference to this particular academic year. So because you particularly know what you have studied, I particularly know like what I have been teaching, and your teacher knows like what they have taught you, and there is a delusion in all these things, like how the things will be. But you should be prepared for everything. You should be all prepared for everything. See, when it comes to Ramzan, the basic things the people think is like in Ramzan, we should be dedicatedly doing the activities related to Ramzan. Like we should not leave any of the salah. We should be practicing swam, and we should not be doing any of the illegal things. Also, as mentioned in Quran, every of the activity that you do in whole of your day activity is been considered as an ibadah. Whether you're studying for your college, whether you're studying for a particular examination, whether you're helping someone, whether you're revising things, or whether you're writing an examination. In every aspect of the things, you will be in a state of mind that there is someone who is watching me and I should be answerable for that particular thing. So in that way, see, if at all if you're writing an examination in Ramadan, you will not be cheating, obviously. There will be less amount of students who will be cheating. Why? Because if at all they are practicing fasting and also they are cheating in examination, then what is the use of fasting? So this also will raise a question like how you are going to prepare. And a Muslim, a practicing Muslim, should be honest to himself. A practicing Muslim should always be honest to himself when practicing a thing or while doing a particular thing. Now, moving forward, now how to seek help? What are the things or how we can seek help? Now, the thing is, it is important to support kids during this tough time of the year, especially with a global pandemic, and if they are fasting on the top of that. The thing is, like, see, my advice to the parent is like not to pressurize the student on getting good marks. Instead, help them in understanding the things. Help them in understanding the things. But because we doesn't understand how the student is going to react, but the parent knows. The parent knows the psychological thing of the child, and they can help them accordingly. But a teacher might know 50% or 60% of the student, but the parent knows 100% regarding this. So it's the responsibility of the parents to help the children, to help the student in retaining their what you call as the strength in preparing this particular examination. Now, how will you preparing this examination? We are going to see in the present or in the coming slides. Now, what is the unique fact? The unique fact with reference to this particular academic year is the students appearing for boards in this year 2021 are going to be making history. I congratulate you on this. You will be making history for being the only batch in recent year which has mastered the skills of online learning with the ability of both online and offline studies. I guess until 8th class or like half of the 9th class, you have studied offline. Now you have completely shifted from offline to online classes. You have completely shifted from offline to online classes. Now what further says, with the ability of both offline and online studies material and limited social contacts with their fellow mates. I guess there was a very less time when you all have met together, sitting and chit-chatting in the class, making nuisance, making some of the things. So you all are missing all these things. And it's a part of your student life. It's a part of the student life. And we cannot deny this fact. There is nothing like denying this fact that it's the responsibility of the student to make nuisance and to create a nuisance in the class so that a different environment will be created. A different environment will be created. And you will remember all these things in the coming days in your future. Now, what to prepare, like how you all can prepare for this particular examination. What are the different mechanisms by which you can prepare for this exam? See, preparing for examination is not like a rocket science. Preparing for the examination is not like doing some of the things which is not been done in the whole of this world. But the only thing is that you have been created with a phobia that there is an exam you need to write. There is an exam you need to write, and you need to score much of the marks. And you have been compared with different people. You have been compared with different people. Like, see, I'll give you an example. Like, see, an ant can lift 8 times of its weight. An ant can lift 8 times of its weight and it can carry along. If at all, if I say this, like अगर मैं ऐसे बोलूं कि एक जो चूंटी है अपने वजन से 8 गुना ज्यादा वजन उठा सकती है, तो क्या एक हत्ती अपने वजन से 50 किलो वजन नहीं उठा सकता? 50 किलो? ये गलत कंपैरिजन है. ये कंपैरिजन गलत है. एक छोटी सी चीज ऐसा कर सकती है तो हाथी क्यों नहीं कर सकता? एक हाथी कर सकता है तो चूंटी क्यों नहीं कर सकती? ये कंपैरिजन गलत है. इसका मतलब ये भी नहीं है कि आप नहीं कर सकते. इसका मतलब ये भी नहीं है कि आप नहीं कर सकते. आप कर सकते हैं, आप करना चाहिए, बट आप कोशिश नहीं करना चाहते. The important thing is that you don't want to give up a try. but because you have been set in such a way that the mathematics is always tough. अब मैं यहाँ पूछूं कि कितने लोग ऐसे हैं जिसको मैथमेटिक्स से डर लगता, तो मैं समझता हूँ कि 60% लोग ये हाथ उठाएंगे कि हमको मैथमेटिक्स से डर लगता है। अगर वो सेम चीज किसी मैथमेटिशियन से पूछूं तो वो कहेगा कि ये बहुत आसान सी चीज है, ये बहुत आसान सी चीज है। याद करिए वो वक्त को जब आप एलकेजी में थे, जब आपको जॉनी जॉनी यस पप्पा की पोयम याद दिलाई जा रही थी। रिमेंबर दैट टाइम, वो कितना टफ टाइम था कि आप समझते थे कि नहीं, जॉनी जॉनी पप्पा यस पप्पा जो पोयम है इसको याद करना बहुत ही ज्यादा मुश्किल है। अगर इस मोमेंट पे अगर आपसे पूछा जाए कि जॉनी जॉनी यस पप्पा अगर आपको पोयम सुनाओ तो आप 1 सेकंड में सुनाएंगे। जब टफ क्यों था, अब आसान क्यों है? इस वजह से है क्योंकि उस वक्त आपको एक मेंटल स्टेट ये था कि ये चीज टफ है, मैं नहीं कर सकता, लेकिन फिर भी आपने उस टाइम पे वो चीज की। सेम चीज यहाँ पर भी अप्लाई होती है कि आपको समझना है बस, but you need to understand that this particular task that you are doing is very much easier for you. You need to have some random things. You should have some random things in your mind stating that I can do this thing and I am able to do this particular thing. Okay, now the first thing that you need to have in your mind is to have a study environment. स्टडी एनवायरनमेंट का मतलब ये नहीं होता है कि सिर्फ डेस्क हो, आपके सामने एक पेपर हो, पेन हो, नहीं। आपको एक ऐसी जगह पे बैठना है जहाँ पे आप पढ़ सकते हैं। जैसे कि टीवी के सामने बैठ के पढ़ रहे हैं, पढ़ाई नहीं हो सकती है। मोबाइल के साथ पढ़ रहे हैं, पढ़ाई नहीं हो सकती है। क्या बोलना चाहिए, आपके दोस्त वगैरह बैठे हैं, पढ़ाई नहीं हो सकती है। You should have an environment in such a way that you should have a water bottle along with you. You should be having a breaks of 10 minutes, 15 minutes for every 1 hour. 1 घंटा पढ़ रहे हैं आप, तो आपको 10 से 15 मिनट का आपको ब्रेक लेना मैंडेटरी है। You should take a break of what you call as 10 minutes. The second thing is with reference to setting a realistic goal. For example, I'll give you my own example, not anyone's example. Me and brother Abdul Subur, the host of this program, at the time of engineering, we used to study together. At the time of engineering, we used to study together. Like the way we used to study is like, I used to study 1 unit, brother Abdul Subur used to study 1 unit, and there was one of my another friend by the name Salman, he used to study 1 unit. So I used to study 1 unit and I used to explain 1 unit to other 2 friends. So they do the same thing. So in this way, we used to study, because I knew that I cannot study, like we should have, we used to have 8 units for our examination. We used to study only 5 units. And I knew that I can study only 4 units or maximum 4.5 units in that particular thing. So I used to make a realistic goal that I will be studying only 5 units. Among that 5 units, I'll be writing the exam. So how I used to divide this 5 units? I used to divide this 5 units with reference to the day, number of days coming, and number of chapters being involved in that particular thing. And also with reference to the difficulty level of that particular subject. How will I be suggesting the difficulty level of the subject? For example, I am a computer science student. I cannot study commerce, but for a commerce student, it is very much easier. So for me, my difficulty level to study financial accounting and management is difficult, but for an accounting student, it is very easy. So at this level of time, I used to segregate the subject with reference to the level of difficulties. And with reference to that, I used to set the goal. I'll be studying this particular subject in this particular days and this number of time. The third thing is to set a time to complete a task. For example, you have taken a task of studying mathematics in 3 days. It is highly impossible. It is highly impossible. And also you have taken a task of studying English in 3 days. It is very much possible. It is very much possible. But studying mathematics in 3 days is highly impossible. You can complete English in 3 days or 2 days, but you cannot complete mathematics in 3 or 4 days. So you should divide. As I've told you, setting a realistic goal. And second thing is set a time to complete a task. And you should stick to that, whether you are able to do it or not. Sacrifice some of the weddings, sacrifice some of the events, but complete this particular task. But because this is important for you as of now. मिसाल के तौर पे अगर आपके बड़े भाई की शादी है, छोटी बहन की शादी है, या नहीं तो आपके पड़ोसी की शादी है, आप अपना टाइम उसमें दे रहे हैं, क्या वो आपको टाइम फ्रूटफुल है जब आपका रिजल्ट आएगा? ये बात सोचकर आप वो चीज को, टास्क को कंप्लीट करिए। अगर वाकई अगर ये चीज आपको रिफ्लेक्ट करिए कि नहीं शायद में मेरे रहने से कुछ इफेक्ट पड़ता है, इससे मेरी कुछ फ्यूचर में अच्छी चीज हो सकती है, तो अटेंड करिए दावत. Honest, if at all that particular thing is not greater than this, then reject all those things. Reject all those things. Complete your task first. Complete your task first. Why? Because if at all you are able to complete the task by yourself, then only you can speak to others. अगर कोई ये बोल दे कि भाई आप ही फेल हो गए, दूसरों को क्या बोल रहे, आपको 60% मार्क्स है, दूसरों को क्या बोल रहे, so you should be in a position to say that I can complete this task at this particular time of time and I have the capacity. The next thing is to discuss what you have learned. Now, after you study all of these things, have a habit of discussing with your elder brother or younger sister or younger brother or with your parents or with your siblings or anyone, so that will give you a more understanding of that particular subject. That can give you a more understanding of that particular subject. The next one is take regular breaks. This is very important. Taking regular breaks. Though how much interesting that subject is, take a break. Why? Because it's a human ability to concentrate with full concentration only for 10 minutes. एक इंसान, एक नॉर्मल इंसान की जो सलाहियत है वो ये है कि 10 मिनट से ज्यादा एक चीज पर कॉन्सेंट्रेट नहीं कर सकता. 10 मिनट के बाद जो 11वां मिनट होता है, जो अगर उस पर कॉन्सेंट्रेट कर रहा है अगर वो, तो वो उसका इंटरेस्ट लेवल होता है. वो इंटरेस्ट लेवल की वजह से ही वो चीज को कॉन्सेंट्रेट कर पाता है. कभी आप देखिए कि वक्त जो होता है ना, वक्त जब आप किसी का इंतजार कर रहे हो तो लंबा होता है, जब आप किसी के साथ आपके मतलब किसी अच्छे चाहने वाले या नहीं तो आपके किसी रिलेटिव्स के साथ होता है तो टाइम छोटा हो जाता है. ये टाइम ऐसा छोटा बड़ा क्यों हो रहा है? ऐसा इस वजह से हो रहा है क्योंकि आपका मेंटल स्टेट वैसा है, आपका वो मेंटल स्टेट वैसा है. तो आपको चाहिए कि जब कॉन्सेंट्रेट कर रहे हैं, जब पढ़ रहे हैं, तो रेगुलर ब्रेक लें. आप ब्रेक किस तरीके से लें? वो 10 मिनट के ब्रेक में आप पानी पिएंगे, उठेंगे, चहल खत्मी करेंगे, यू विल वॉकिंग अराउंड, यू विल टेकिंग फ्रेश ऑक्सीजन, विंडो के पास जाइए, सांस लीजिए, ऐसा अंदर सांस लेके 10 सेकंड रोक के फिर छोड़िए, ऐसा 2 से 3 बार करिए. इससे आपको हेल्प मिलेगी. दिस विल हेल्प यू इन making the things very much helpful. This will help you in making the things in an efficient way so that you can make it a very well versed way. Now the second and the next thing is you need to have a good sleep. अब sleep का मतलब ये नहीं है कि रात में 3 बजे सो रहे हैं, सुबह में 8 बजे उठ रहे हैं, नहीं. गुड स्लीप और स्लीप वेल का मतलब ये है कि इशा के फौरी बाद सो जाइए. नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की हदीस ये है कि रात के तीसरे पहर में उठो, रात के तीसरे पहर में उठो. जब नबी का सल्लल्लाहु ने ये बात कही तो मैं कुछ मतलब ये चीज को थोड़ा सोचने लगा. तो साइंटिफिक रिसर्च ये बताती है कि इंसान जब सोता है या जो रात होती है वो 3 हिस्सों में डिवाइड होती है. पहला जो हिस्सा होता है रात का वो 8 बजे से लेकर या 9 बजे से लेकर 12 बजे तक का होता है, जिसमें इंसान की नींद होती है, 12 बजे से लेकर 3 बजे या 4 बजे तक का जो हिस्सा होता है उसमें इंसान अपनी बॉडी को रिलैक्स करता है. 4 बजे से लेकर जो भी टाइम आप सोते हैं वो आप अपनी एक्स्ट्रा कंफर्ट के लिए सोते हैं, इस वजह से नबी का सल्लल्लाहु ने फरमाया कि रात के तीसरे पहर में उठकर अल्लाह ताला से मांगो, जिससे आपकी नींद भी कंप्लीट हो गई, आपकी बॉडी को भी आराम मिल गया और आप अल्लाह ताला के सामने कुछ गिड़गिड़ा सक रहे. बट द कंडीशन ऑफ आवर टाइम इज लाइक हम सोते ही 1 बजे हैं, इस वजह से हमारी नींद भी कंप्लीट नहीं होती, हमारी बॉडी को उतना आराम भी नहीं मिल सकता. आप अपने आप को गौर करके देख लीजिए, एक दिन आप 8 बजे 9 बजे सो के उठ के देखिए, दूसरे दिन कितना फ्रेश रहते हैं, और एक दिन आप 3 साढ़े 3 को सो के देखिए, पूरे दिन भर आपको नींद आते रहती है. हालांकि आप 8 घंटे ही सोए हैं, यहाँ भी 8 घंटे सोए हैं, यहाँ भी 8 घंटे सोए हैं, पर द थिंग इज आपको की नींद कंप्लीट नहीं हुई. सो यू शुड हैव अ गुड स्लीप. आपको एक अच्छी स्लीप होनी बहुत जरूरी है. द नेक्स्ट वन इज टू हैव अ पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड. नो व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय दिस पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड? पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड इन द सेंस आप जो चीज भी कर रहे हैं आप ये समझिए कि मैं कर सकता हूं. अब गौर से सुनिए मैं जो कह रहा हूं, मैं कर सकता हूं, ये एटीट्यूड होना चाहिए. मैं ही कर सकता हूं, ये एटीट्यूड नहीं होना चाहिए. इन दोनों के बीच में बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंस है. मैं कर सकता हूं और मैं ही कर सकता हूं, इन दोनों के बीच में बहुत सारा डिफरेंस है. तो पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड ये होना चाहिए कि मैं ये चीज कर सकता हूं, उम्मीद है मेरे को, आई हैव एन होप दैट आई कैन डू दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग. and I'm able of doing this particular thing and have the capacity and capability and caliber of doing this particular thing. So you should be having a positive attitude of towards everything. चाहे आपको कोई चीज मिलो या ना मिलो, आपको हमेशा पॉजिटिव होना है. Now coming towards the next thing, how should I prepare or how to prepare? So this is a small chart that I have prepared for all of you to have, like during the Ramadan, how you can segregate your time with reference to preparation of time and all these things. I'll send this to brother Abdul Sabur. You can get it from Abdul Sabur, this particular slide, for having or making a plan with reference to your preparation of examination during Ramadan timing. And रमजान आया इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि खा के सो जाना है. रमजान आने का मतलब ये है कि कम खाना है, ज्यादा काम करना है. This is the practice session for all of you. The spiritual part will all will discuss in the later on part of the session. But ये समझ लीजिए कि रमजान जब भी आया आपका, तो आपको ज्यादा काम करना है, कम सोना है. जितना कम सोएंगे आप, अल्लाह ताला से तक ज्यादा रग़बत पैदा कर सकते हैं. और आप चाहे कितना भी अच्छा प्रिपेयर कर लो, जब तक आप अल्लाह ताला की हेल्प नहीं रही आपके साथ, आप कुछ भी पास नहीं कर सकते. आप कुछ भी पास नहीं कर सकते. Okay, now this is a general timetable that you will be having, or you need to follow, or you can follow with this reference to your daily activities. Now, what are the tips for the students? What are the different tips for the students with reference to the different expert people or from the different things? The first thing is, it is important to you to set yourself to a daily schedule of studying, sleeping and eating and praying if you are fasting. Now, this will help you manage your day in the most efficient and energy conserving way possible. For example, try to study after ending your fast and sleep after you finish your e-learning. Okay, now the second thing that it is, like, do not leave revision to the last minute. It is important to revise, and when you are studying this, like, this was my trick during the school, and I would revise even on the day of my study schedule, never revising. This is the biggest flaw with reference to studying. Now, according to a study, human brains and human memory, it has been said that if at all if you study some particular thing, or if at all if you try to remember something, the memory will last long only for 14 hours. अगर मैं आपको कोई चीज बोला तो आपके जहन में वो चीज 14 घंटे के लिए रहेगी. 15वें घंटे में अगर आपको वो चीज याद करना है तो उसको आप रिवाइज करते रहना रेगुलर तौर पर. उसको आपको रिवाइज करना है रेगुलर तौर पर. मिसाल के तौर अगर आप देखिए 6th क्लास में कोई एक आंसर याद कर रहे थे होंगे आप, जो आपको आज याद नहीं है, लेकिन आपको जॉनी जॉनी यस पापा की पोएम आज भी याद है. क्यों? इस वजह से याद है क्योंकि आपने उसको रेगुलर बेसिस पर या तो रिवाइज किया है, या तो आपने उसको चीज को सुना है, या तो किसी को पढ़ाते हुए देखा है. इस वजह से आपको जॉनी जॉनी यस पापा की पोएम आज भी याद है, लेकिन वो 6th क्लास 7th क्लास का आंसर आपको आज भी याद नहीं है. दिस इज द थिंग. सो व्हेन यू आर स्टडीइंग सम पर्टिकुलर थिंग, यू शुड रिवाइज. रिवीजन का सबसे बेस्ट टाइम जो होता है वो होता है या तो सोने से पहले या तो सोने से उठने के फौरी बाद. ये वो टाइम होता है जिसमें आप सबसे अच्छा रिवाइज कर सकते हैं, जिससे आपको हेल्प मिल सकती है. और सबसे बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस मैंने जो प्रैक्टिस की है वो ये है कि जब भी आप पढ़ रहे हो तो आपकी अपने खुद के एक नोट्स बनाएं. मिसाल के तौर पे फोटोसिंथेसिस का आप प्रोसेस पढ़ रहे हैं, या नहीं तो नेपोलियन बोनापार्ट या हिस्ट्री पढ़ रहे हैं आप खुद अपने हाथ से एक शॉर्ट नोट लिखें, जिसको देखने के बाद आपको वो सारी चीजें याद आ जाए जो आप पढ़ रहे हैं. दूसरी टेक्निक आप जो इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं वो ये है कि आप उस पर्टिकुलर एग्जाम को एक स्टोरी की तरह याद रखें. कोई पर्टिकुलर थिंग को एक स्टोरी की तरह याद रखें. मिसाल के तौर पे अगर आपसे मैं ये पूछूं कि आपने ये फलाना फलाना मूवी देखी है क्या, आपने कहा देखिए, तो मूवी होती है 3 घंटे की, आप 2 या 3 मिनट में मूवी समझा देते कि मूवी है क्या, क्या होती है, क्या होती है. वो कैसा वो बता सके आप? इस वजह से बता सके क्योंकि आपके जहन में कुछ शॉर्ट नोट था. वो शॉर्ट नोट जैसे ही आपके जहन में आया, पूरी मूवी की स्टोरी आपके जहन के सामने आ गई और आपकी आंखों के सामने आ गई कि मूवी की स्टोरी कैसी थी, क्या थी, फलाना थी, वो थी. इससे आपको हेल्प मिलती है कि आप वो चीज को याद रखें. सो मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, So these are the different things how you will be doing, like, you will be using less energy and using maximum abilities of doing things. Like another thing is like sleep. More sleep is required, or you need to stay positive, revise the things and all the things. So these are different tips with reference to the thing that I have told you previously also. Now, what do experts say? What is the expert advice for the students studying for this particular exam during Ramzan and during this pandemic? The first thing is like stay hydrated as much as possible. It affects overall performance of the body. Eat healthy food. Avoid food that makes you thirsty. Like biryani नहीं खाना है, तहारी बगारा खाना, ये सब चीजें छोड़ देना एग्जाम तक, क्योंकि जब आप पढ़ने बैठ रहे हैं तो आपके जहन को ऑक्सीजन की जरूरत है, बिरयानी की जरूरत नहीं है। ये बातें बोलने के लिए बहुत अच्छी हैं कि बिरयानी खाए तो अच्छा होता, फला होता, वो होता, वो सब बोलने के लिए अच्छी है बातें, लेकिन जब आप प्रैक्टिकली एग्जाम के लिए पढ़ने के लिए बैठ रहे हैं तो ये जंक फूड, पिज्जा, बर्गर, शवरमा, ये सब चीजें छोड़ देना। हेल्दी फूड खाना है ताकि आपके बॉडी को ज्यादा हाइड्रेट रख सकें आप, और अच्छे से आप पढ़ सकें, क्योंकि रमजान भी आ रहा है, भूखे भी रहेंगे आप, तो ऐसी चीजें आपको ज्यादातर अवॉइड करना है। कोशिश ये करिए कि हफ्ते में सिर्फ 2 से ज्यादा बार आप हलीम नहीं खाएं, ताकि आपको आसानी हो सके। द थर्ड पॉइंट इज try to study taking breaks and not to sleep during the day. And the next one is stay indoor, avoid outgoing. Why? Because sun can dehydrate you and it can make you tired very quickly. The last one is avoid too much of physical activity. कोई जिम वगैरह मत जाइए, कोई फिजिकल एक्टिविटी मत करिए, कोई क्रिकेट वगैरह मत खेलिए, घर में बैठिए, मैक्सिमम एनर्जी को इस्तेमाल करिए अपनी पढ़ाई के लिए. Now the last word from my side is if you are failing to plan, then you are planning to fail. अगर आप प्लान अभी नहीं कर रहे हैं, इसका मतलब ये है कि आप ये तय कर लिए कि आपको फेल होना ही होना है. अगर आप ये तय कर लिए कि नहीं, मैं अभी टाइम है ना, करेंगे, थोड़ा टाइम है, फलाना, अगर आप ये समझते हैं, that means that you are planning to fail. So that's all from my side. Thank you for listening to me. And if at all, if you have any of the questions, the question will be taken at the end of the session and all of these things. That's all from my side. I hope you have understood something. If at all, if you have any of the questions, note it down your papers. At the end of the session, I'll be answering the question. That's all from my side. I hand over the mic to Brother Abdul Sabur. Thank you from my side.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jazakallah khair, Mr. Rahmat. Let me share my screen. Like basically, a few members have joined after your introduction. So, yeah. So just now, Mr. Rahmat has covered his part. Basically, I will once again give an introduction of Mr. Rahmat because few people are joined late. So actually, he is a research scholar in Malaysia, this International Islamic University of Malaysia, and he is also assistant professor, and he is expert. He is in cyber security, and he is the member of different NGOs, and he is a PGGS society member also in Malaysia, and he is an advisor for Indian students at Malaysia, and he is a former secretary of AL-khair Society Golconda, and now he is taking care of medical equipment at AL-khair Society. So this is like introduction those who have missed, so that's why I have given this one. And the second thing is I request all the management of schools and audience to at the ending of session, I will share my contact number. On that, you need to ping me so that we will share the chart what Mr. Rahmat had shared with you all. So be connect with us for the further updates regarding this one. And we have next speaker is Mohammed Abdul Saban. He is also a software engineer and tech lead in MNC, and he will be covering the second session of today. So I hand over my mic to Mr. Abdul Saban. So Mr. Abdul Saban, can you hear me? And you can continue. You can share your screen. I will stop on this.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Am I audible?
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My voice is clear, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Okay. Let me share my screen.
Don't sleep in morning.
Sorry, you can see my screen, right? Yeah, we'll get started. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك اقرأ باسم ربك اقرأ باسم ربك القلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم. Are you able to see my screen? Sorry, or only my video?
Video भी सो
We able to see only your main PPT. We are unable to see this slide.
So PPT are able to see, right?
Yep.
yes
Let me stop my video. Let us continue with my PPT. Okay. So yeah, so topic for my session is moral aspect of education, and especially right. Currently, we are talking about. Many students are near to their exams. So education plus exams, right? What are the moral aspects, and what is the Islamic perspective for this, right? What Islam guides us in this situation, right? That is what I'm going to cover in my 20 to 25 minutes of my session. Okay, all right. So as part of that, I'm going to cover, these are the topics which I'm going to cover in my session. So there are many topics mentioned here, but I'll not cover much on the study skills and memory improvement related, because Brother Rahmat has already covered that, alhamdulillah. So my focus will be on the importance of education and excellence in Islam. Then we'll talk about Tawakkal ala Allah, then little bit about attitude, and directly then I'm going to talk about directly on the night before the exam and exam day, and post exam, right? What things you need to do, or what are the points you need to remember. Okay, so in the starting of my session, I just recited the three verses of Holy Quran. So many of you heard these verses many times, right? So we all know that these are the first verses of the Holy Quran which was revealed to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if you read the translation of these three ayats or three verses, right? Then no need to explain the importance of education to anyone, right? Anyone who reads these three verses, it makes it very clear to them what is the importance of education in Islam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly mentioned here, so to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah says that read in the name of your Lord who has created. Then second ayat, the second verse, which says, has created man from a clot of blood. Okay, a piece of thick coagulated blood. Okay, then the third verse says, read and your Lord is the most generous. So if you see in these three verses itself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about reading. So you know, right, in the process of education, there are different things. So one important aspect whenever a person is in his education process or when he is studying, right? The important aspect is reading. So if you read, then only you can understand, and then you write, read, and then that is the different steps in your learning process, right? So in this 3 verses itself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stressed on reading. So reading basically correlates to your education, to your literacy and all. So that is the importance of education in Islam. The first verse of the Holy Quran itself talks about reading, talks about education, talks about wisdom and all, right? So that itself talks about the importance of education. So and you might be thinking why I'm talking about the importance of education. What is this all about? We are going through a very tough situation wherein, right, exams are very much near, and we all know that we are in a pandemic in a pandemic period. Many of us, schools are closed, and we are attending online classes. A lot of stress is going on. But now we are talking about importance of education, right? So there is very pretty much correlation with this. So if you understand the importance of education, right, so then you'll understand the importance of your exams, right? Why you are writing your exams, what it is correlated with my religion. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about this. And then there is a hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu in which he says that, right, talabul ilmi farizatun ala kulli muslimatin wa muslima. So acquiring the knowledge, right, acquiring the knowledge is very much mandatory, fariza, right? Farizatun ala kulli muslimatin wa muslima, for both male and female Muslims, both. For both, it is mandatory. So this hadith also talks about the importance of education. So education is pretty much important in our religion, and that is the reason our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu has also stressed more on education, wisdom, learning, literacy, knowledge, and all these things, right? Alhamdulillah. So now if you correlate, right, so you are in an examination period, and you have to understand this. So you have to go with this mindset. So Allah's it is fariza. So basically you are performing your fariza. So this was first for each and every one of us, for you, for me, for each and every Muslim. It is first to acquire education, and you are going through the process of farad. So you know, right? So if you perform namaz, which is for us, then you will get rewards or not. You will get rewards, correct? So for every farad, there is a reward. Then you are going through education process, learning process, and you are going to write exams. So are you going to get rewards or not? For sure, inshallah, alhamdulillah, you are going to get rewards, because alhamdulillah, Quran itself and hadith itself says that there is a, for us, in the hadith just now I recited, right? So it is for us. So you are performing a farad. Then if you are doing performing your faras, alhamdulillah, inshallah, you are going to get the rewards. So that is the the very first strong starting point for each and every individual, be it a student, be it anyone, right? So who is going to the education, through the education and literacy process, for him this is a strong base, I could say, through which you have to understand. So I'm doing my mandatory requirement for Islam. So alhamdulillah, inshallah, you are going to get reward. So this is the first point for each and every student, right? Especially for the students who are going to face exams. With this, right, you should calm down. So now, alhamdulillah, I'm doing for us. So there is no need to take tension, right? So alhamdulillah, I'm going to. So if I'm going to perform the faraz, then alhamdulillah, Allah's help will be there, right? So it is not right. I have to write some exam, I have to do something, I have to become some doctor, engineer, or maybe some. I have to go into some arts field or any other professional field. So this is just for my dunya. So where is the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? This is, I'm doing just for dunya. No, Islam, right? Islam gives a concept of life, and Islam gives a complete system of life. So it cannot, without guiding an individual in the field of in this field, I mean, like Islam will not complete, right? So in this also clearly Islam has given the guidance for each and every person who goes through the education process. So hope this point is clear, importance of education. So I'll just add one more point here, then importance of education, plus then the next point is excellence. So you might say that, okay, education is for us, okay, just I will perform for us whatever you want, okay, so I'll just complete my education, I'll just write my exams, I just want to pass the exam, just boundary, okay, whatever is the passing marks for my 10th or inter, I'll complete that. And can you please mute? So yeah, let me mute. Okay, all right, thank you. So the another important point comes is excellence. So if you see, right, I mean, like if you see the life of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and life of all the Ambiyas. So all the Ambiyas who has been mentioned in the Holy Quran and Hadith, and life of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is very clear that all these Ambiyas were excellent of their time in their field, right? So if you talk about Dawud alayhi salam, he was excellent during his period in his fields, right? In his fields, like he was a great ruler, right? Dawud alayhi salam, Sulaiman alayhi salam, he was also a great ruler. So they were excellent. So then Musa alayhi salam, if you see, right? So in his period, right, at that time, there was a lot of magicians and they used to do a lot of these tricks and all. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given Musa alayhi salam great knowledge, wisdom, through which, right, he was so excellent in his, I mean, like with his teachings, and I mean, like in front of magicians, like magicians were also, right, okay, they were powerless by seeing his excellency, his knowledge, wisdom. So what I want to say over here is, right, then if you see the life of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was excellent in everything what he used to do, right? So be it, I mean, like while he is teaching his companions, be it when he used to go and speak, do dawah in front of non-Muslims, he used to speak very perfectly with a lot of wisdom and all these things. He has shown excellence in each and every aspect of his life. So after going through all the life of our prophets, and if you read the Holy Quran, there are a lot of such examples which talks about excellency. I mean, like Islam doesn't settle just by doing something. Okay, you do something, okay, that's it. No, Islam wants each and every Muslim to be excellent in his own field, in his field, be it a doctor, be it engineer, be it any other domain expert, right? So that is the importance of excellence in Islam. So always remember this thing. So and then try to correlate this with your exam spirit, right? So it's not just, right, okay, you are going to exam hall and just you write something and hope for, okay, I'm going to just pass that one boundary, just I will cross the boundary. No, you should be excellent. You should target for that. You should plan for that. Right? That was the reason we have conducted this session, and Brother Rahmat has given a lot of tips in that, how to plan and all. So remember these points. So now next point, I will just focus 1 minute on the next point, which is on exams. So till now we spoke about the education. Now let us see some of the verses from the Holy Quran which talks about examination. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Holy Quran, Surah Mulk, right? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alladhi khalaqal mawta wal hayata liyabluwakum ayyukum ahsanu amala wa huwa al-azizul ghafur. In another verse, right, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah Al-Kahf, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna ja'alna ma ala al-arzi zinatallaha linabluwahum ayyuhum ahsanu amala. So if you read the translation of both of these verses, in both the verses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about test, examination. Okay. So Surah Mulk translation for that verse, right? Who has created death and life, that he may test you, which of you is best indeed, and he is the Almighty, the oft forgiving. So in Surah Kahf, again Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, verily we have made that which is on earth as an adornment for it, in order that we may test them, mankind, as to which of them are best in deeds. So if this clearly, these both the ayats, there are many other ayats and hadiths which talks about the examination. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly mentions that the life of this world is to test the mankind. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to test the mankind. He has given both the options, whether you can attempt your paper with the right answers, or you can attempt your paper with wrong answers. So how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to judge whether your answer is right or wrong is based on the Sharia what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided. Sharia is I mean, like nothing but the Holy Quran and the teachings of our Prophet, beloved Prophet. So if your answer is based on these Quran and Hadith, I mean, like answer, when I talk about answer, nothing but the life what you have spent your life here. If it is based on this Quran and Hadith, then you are, I mean, like your answer is correct and you will be successful, right? At the same time, if your answer is wrong, you will be failed. So this is about the main exam which each and every human being on the face of earth is going to face, and the results will be declared on the day of judgment. So we all know about this. So if you are already, I mean, like everyone is in the facing the exams, then apart from that, now we are talking about our exam, what we are going to face as part of our education process, right? Whether it is SSC exams, intermediate, degree, whatever. So in this also, right, I mean, like Quran and Hadith has given us a lot of guidance. So we should be, I mean, like we should not be too much stressful, right? Okay, this exam is going to happen, what will going to happen if I fail and all. So because the main exam is on the day of judgment, and there is no supplementary. If you are going to pass, fail, that's it. But here we are having that does not mean that I'm talking about, okay, you go with negative feeling that, okay, if you fail, you have a chance. No, but in order to control your fear, exam fear, you should remember this point also. Okay, but prepare well and plan well, then for sure, inshallah, you'll not end up in a situation, right, wherein you are going to attempt for the going for second attempt. No need. Inshallah, in the first attempt itself, you are going to pass the exam. Okay, next slide. So these are just some points I mentioned, right? Students don't plan to fail, they fail to learn and all. So now main thing what I'm going to talk about is, see, so there are a lot of things, right? We have spent a lot of years, I mean, like attempting exams, right? Right from your first class to 10th. So everyone is having 10 to 12 years of experience facing the exams. But still, always we feel that there is a lot of things to do. We face exam fear and all these things, right? So in order to control exam fear, what is going to help, right? So these are just the points. I'll not spend much time because most of these points are already covered in our first session. So these all exam, I mean, like when you end up in exam fear and all these things. So basically, these are the I mean, like situations you will undergo, right? So you will fail, nervousness, mental blocks, all these things you'll face. So for that, this is the solution for you, right? So these are the things which are going to help you to succeed. So always remember, right? So if you have a strong belief system, so basically if you have a strong iman on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like if you believe in Allah very strongly that Allah is going to help us, He is our creator, He is why he is going to help us, I already explained. Because what we are doing, we are performing our faraz, right? Mandatory, which is mandatory for on every Muslim to be, I mean, like to go through the education process and be literate, right? So we are doing for us. So inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to help. So along with that, right, what are the basic things what we have to do, right, in order to be successful, or in order, I mean, like in order to control your exam fear and want to be successful in your exam. These are the basic core 3 points you have to remember. First and foremost thing is offer namaz regularly with Jamaat. So all our brothers, make sure that you offer namaz regularly with Jamaat. That is very first point. Sisters, offer your namaz regularly at the appropriate timings of those salah at your homes. Okay, so this is a very first point. Always remember, because see, you are performing for us, which is education process. At the same time, namaz is also for us. You cannot leave one for us for the other for us, right? So you have to cover both the things. So namaz is also mandatory. You have to offer namaz, do duas in every namaz, right? For your exam preparation and all these things. Inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to help. Second, every day you have to make a routine to read at least one page, bare minimum, from the Holy Quran, right? Read with translation what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about. So whatever translation you know, Hindi, Urdu, Telugu, English, whatever. So always remember to make your schedule. This is not only for exam. This should be your schedule for your entire life. Then the third point, very important, remember that be good to your parents. So this is also important because this is also mandatory in Islam. So after Allah's rights and rights of our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala everywhere mentioned in the Holy Quran, the very next right is right of your parents. So you have rights on your parents. So always remember to be good to your parents, do your parents work, whatever they are asking, do be whatever they are telling, okay, do some help, whatever. So you have to manage your time in this way. So you cannot just say that, okay, I'm preparing for exams, I'm not going to work, I'm not going to help you. No. So try to manage, and also, right, if your parents is demanding something, you discuss with them and come up with some plan. Okay, this time I'll be busy on studying. Whatever work is there, I'll try to cover your work or whatever you told, right? That work I'll cover in the evening or this time, like that. But you have to manage both the things. You cannot, ignore one thing over the other. Okay, so these are the key things you have to remember when you are preparing for your exams or any thing, right? The next point, as I told, right, that when we are talking about tawakkal ala Allah, so belief system, right? So always remember this point. So there is a hadith of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam who said, right, strong believer is better and is more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than the weak believer. So this hadith clearly talks about the belief on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, strong belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So always try to be a strong believer and beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How you can achieve, as I told, right, offer namaz, recitation of Holy Quran, be good to your parents. These things will bring closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, remember not only your exams, entire life, your life will be very smooth, right? Every time, right, Allah is going to help, inshallah. Then there are a lot of duas which you have to read, and whenever you are starting your study, right, always read these ayat. So this is from Surah Taha, Rabbi Zidni Ilma, and another is, right, Rabbi Shrah Li Sadri wa Yassir Li Amri Wahlul Uqdatam Min Lisani Yafqahu Qawli. So these ayats from Holy Quran always recite before starting your when you are sit for your studying, right? And whenever you are writing exam, also you recite those ayats. That is going to help, inshallah. And whenever you are writing reading any tough subject, or always remember to recite this also. This is also very good dua which Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has taught us. Allahumma la sahla illa ma ja'altahu sahlan wa anta tajalul hazna idha shi'ta sahla. So this is also another good dua which you can recite. So once you are, follow those three basic points, right? Always, then your attitude, your perspective will change, right? So now you are not going to be a student who is fearing about exams. Now you will become a very confident student. So these points I'm not going to cover much because we have most of the times already, most of the points already covered. So as I told, right, time management is also important. So I will just mention one hadith about time management and proceed from here. So always remember that Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has said that there are two of Allah's favors that are forgotten by many people. One is health and free time. So free time whenever you have, right? So this is your free time only. So right before exams you have time. So this time, convert this free time into exam preparation time. So prepare for your exams. Then only you are going to be successful. So planning, prioritization, and these three P's you have to remember whenever you are managing your time, right? So you have to plan well, prioritize well, and avoid the third P, which is procrastinating. So normally students tend to do this only. They will prepare the plan, they will prioritize everything, and when I ask when are you going to start follow that plan, you will say from tomorrow. And again tomorrow some other thing will come, some other function you have to attend. Then finally tomorrow if I ask, are you following your timetable? Then you will say, no, I'll follow from next day. Like that, the exam day will come. So it will never come. The next day will never come. So always remember that point. Already schedule as said by Brother Ahmed. I'm not going to cover. So directly I'll jump on to my last slide and then I will conclude. So few more points you have to remember on the, like night before the exam and the exam day. Okay, so night before the exam, right? Okay, these things you can do. So you can revise your whatever you have prepared, and the last day, right? Last night, don't try to learn or don't try to remember any new topic, because you are whatever you have covered, try to revise those things. So if you try to start reading or new topic or new subject just one night before the exam, just like 10 or 12 hours before the exam, then you will be in a panic situation, right? So you'll not be able to remember, and then you'll get panic, and unnecessary your energy levels will go down. So don't do that kind of things. You have a lot of time, so prepare well from now itself, so that right you'll not end up in that situation. Then have a proper sleep, proper diet before the exam also. And yeah, so you can revise or do quiz with your friends or parents. That is night before the exam. Do not stress. It will be okay, inshallah. The next point is recheck your timetable. These are all basic things, right? Pack your necessary items before going to your exam center. These all you have to do one night before itself. Okay. Then exam day, what you have to do. So this is again important thing. So remember, right before Fajr, try to wake up early and perform Tahajjud Salah and do lot of dua, right? And do perform 2 rakat nafil before going to your exam center. So right, whenever, for example, your exam is at 9 a.m. So 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, right? Just perform 2 rakat nafil and do a lot of dua, and request your parents also to make dua, and then go to your exam hall, take a water bottle, exam hall ticket and everything. And always remember, go with a positive attitude, tawakkal Allah. Exam day, think positive, and as I told, right, read all the duas and start writing your exam. These are all basic things. Read instructions, allocate your time for every question and all. Last point, what I want to say is this one. Okay, note that when you are in exam, right, always remember the advice of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who said that, right, whoever cheats is not one of us. So don't do cheating. Don't copy from here and there and write your exam, and don't take the grades based on cheating and all. So prepare well, perform well in the exam, and take your own grades, not by copying and all. So you might be a successful on your report card. You might get a first division, you might pass, but you will not be successful as a individual. In your practical life, you'll not be successful with those kind of marks. And also in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in front of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you'll not be a successful person. So please don't do that. This is the advice. And so again, I am reiterating this point, last point. Never neglect your faraids. So always remember, namaz is for us. Perform regularly. Be good to your parents. Read Holy Quran. So finally, I would like to pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that may Allah grant us success in this world and hereafter, and grant success to all the students who are going to appear for the exams. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Jazakallah khair, and thank you so much, Mr. Usman. So we have the next and the last speaker, Muhammad Nadeem sir. I will give a basic introduction of him. He is a BTech and MTech, and he is gold medalist in Cisco, and he is a secretary of AL-khair Society and SIU, former SIU member and PSF core-team member. So I will request Brother Nazim sir to start. Yeah, you can share your presentation.
Yeah. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and adab to everyone. Can you please confirm? Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
perfect. Perfect. So we have 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes max, and we have a lot of things to talk. And the good thing is many of the topics already covered. So I will just focus on few things. Okay. So first of all, I'm really happy to see that all the brothers and sisters, they are going to appear the exams, and I want to see each and every one of you get a good grades in the exam and have a great success. Okay, so my topic for this one is career and education in the motivational aspect. Actually, this point is already covered with the last two speakers. Okay, so but still there are few things which we are going to cover. Okay, so the first thing is the agenda. What we're going to see is the motivation. We'll see the what is the motivation, what is the dream. When I say the dream big, what is the dream big? What is your goals? Nothing is impossible. It is not impossible. It is I am possible. Okay, and the luck is nothing but the hard work plus the opportunity. Okay, and the start now. You have to start now. Don't look at back. Trust Allah and the success. So these points we are going to see. The first thing is motivation. What is the motivation? Motivation means generate a new idea. Okay, set new goals. What is your goals in the life? Focus on your dream. What dreams you are seeing? Are you seeing a dream that on the result day your parents are very happy and there are the tears on their eyes and they are smiling with the happiness and they are proudly saying that my son and my daughter, they become a first rank? Is it your dream? What is your goal? Is your goal is that are you it is not only the doctor or engineer or lawyer or any IT engineer? No. What is the goal? The goal should be something like I want to become a good human being. I want to become a doctor and I want to serve to the society. Okay, so what is your life objective? And always you need to be go with the stay positive. Like everything should be start from the positive. Tomorrow's the exam and I am going to pass the exam. I am going to get the top in the exam. So that's the positive attitude. So that's the motivational, and you need to motivate yourself like this. So that is called the motivation is nothing but it is a combination of the goals, dreams, and the positiveness. Okay, and the ideas. So success, when we talk about the success, what is success? Success is the combination of the dream, vision, mission, goal, strategy, action plan. So success is not something a person is just a student just having the dreams. सिर्फ ख्वाब देख रहे वो लोग, ख्वाबों से जो सो आप एग्जाम में टॉप नहीं आने वाले. ओके, सिर्फ आपका गोल है कि मेरा जो सो बोर्ड में जो सो मेरा नाम फर्स्ट रहेगा, सिर्फ ख्वाब देखने से, सिर्फ विजन रहने से नहीं आने वाले. राइट, आपके पास जो सो कोई एक्शन प्लान नहीं है, सो यू कैन नॉट गेट द सक्सेस. आपके पास कोई स्ट्रैटेजी नहीं है कि मैं कब जाऊंगा, कब अभी जो like our last two brothers they talk about the timetable and all. If you don't have that strategy, then how you are going to get the success, right? So this is how the dream, vision, mission, goal, strategy and plan, it is a combination of the success. If you ask any successful people, so what they do, they do a dreams. ख्वाब देखते हैं वो लोग, ख्वाब. So what is your main goal? Moving towards your main goal with the incremental smaller goals. आपको जो सो 10th फ्लोर पे जाना है तो आपको फर्स्ट फ्लोर से जाना पड़ेगा. First floor, then the second floor, then the third floor, right? You never you cannot jump directly on the 10th floor, right? There are chances that you will be fall down. So goals, आपके जो ख्वाब होते हैं, ख्वाब देखिए. ख्वाब देखना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि जो लोग ख्वाब नहीं देखते वो जिंदगी में आगे नहीं बढ़ते. राइट। और एक स्कॉलर ने बहुत खूब कहा है कि अगर आपको किसी कौम का मुस्तकबिल देखना है तो उसके नौजवानों के खौफ के बारे में देखो। सो व्हाट देयर यंग पीपल ड्रीमिंग, आर दे ड्रीमिंग अबाउट जस्ट देयर सेल्फ, आर दे ड्रीमिंग अबाउट जस्ट मटेरियलिस्टिक लाइफ? सो ये इनके ख्वाब जो है सो उनके आगे के जिंदगी के बारे में बताएंगे। तो ख्वाब देखिए, ख्वाब में जो है सो अपने आप को जो सो एक बेहतरीन इमेज अपने आप की बनाइए, राइट। और अपने आप को जो सो वो लेवल पे लेके डोंट डोंट आप अपने आप को जो सो निग्लेक्ट मत कीजिए कि मैं फेल हो रहा हूँ, यू आर नथिंग। जस्ट हैव अ ड्रीम। ड्रीम में तो कोई आपको आके मारने वाला नहीं है ना, कोई ड्रीम में आके नहीं बोलेगा कि आप क्यों टॉप आए बोलकर। नो, हैव अ ड्रीम दैट फर्स्ट। ड्रीम जब रहेगा तो उसके बाद फिर आप आगे की चीजें करेंगे, राइट। आपके ख्वाब ही देखिए, ख्वाब ही नहीं देखते तो फिर आगे कैसा बढ़ेंगे, राइट। सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, एवरी मॉर्निंग यू हैव टू चॉइसेस। आपके पास दो रास्ते हैं, कंटिन्यू टू स्लीप विथ योर ड्रीम और वेक अप एंड चेज देम। आपको नींद आ रही है, आप ख्वाब में हैं, बस सो जाइए अपने ख्वाबों के साथ, या फिर उठिए, उठ के जो सो उस ख्वाब को चेस करने की कोशिश कीजिए। तो दैट्स द टू ऑप्शंस यू हैव, राइट। अब आपको डिसाइड करना है कि आपको अपने ख्वाबों के लिए उठना है, रात में 3 बजे उठकर पढ़ना है, या फिर आपको जस्ट ख्वाबों के साथ जो है सोना है। सो दैट यू नीड टू डिसाइड। सो द सक्सेसफुल पीपल दे ऑलवेज go and try to chase your dreams. Okay, they try to wake up, right? Vision is nothing but the future. आप अपने आप को जो एक फ्यूचर में देख रहे हैं, राइट। आपको जो आपका एक विजन है, विजन इज नथिंग बट द फ्यूचर। आप अगले 4 साल में, 2 साल में, अगर टुडे इज योर इंटरमीडिएट और योर एसएससी, सो इफ यू आर इन इंटरमीडिएट, सो दिस इज द नेक्स्ट ईयर इज अबाउट टू, इन 4 years which graduation you are going to complete. What is your future? If you are in SSC class, then what is in which college you want to do the intermediate and what is your goal? और एक आप अगर इन द राइट साइड में यू विल सी द वन इमेज दैट इज कॉल्ड योर कंफर्ट जोन एंड वेयर द मैजिक हैपन। कंफर्ट जोन में जब कोई चला गया कि जो सो बस एक रूटीन लाइफ है, बस जो सो 12-1 बजे सो रहे हैं, फिर सुबह में 10 बजे उठ रहे हैं, फिर उसके बाद 1-2 घंटे पढ़े, एकदम एक कंफर्ट जोन में जब लाइफ इंसान चले जाता तो उससे कभी मैजिक नहीं होता। याद रखिए, if you want to do something extraordinary, if you want to do something achievable, then you need to go out of your comfort zone. आप अगर रात में सुबह 10 बजे तक सो रहे तो आपको 4 बजे उठना पड़ेगा, आपको कंफर्ट जोन से हटना पड़ेगा, तो जाके जो आप आगे बढ़ने वाले हैं। तो कंफर्ट जोन से निकलना बहुत जरूरी है। कंफर्ट जोन में अगर रहेंगे so you the people cannot success with the comfort zone, right? ये जो कंफर्ट जोन से आपको निकलना है, आपको अपनी आदत चेंज करनी है। आपके जो एग्जाम को बिल्कुल कम वक्त रहा है, आपको जो अब एकदम चढ़ करना है, आपको जो एक्टिव होना है, राइट। कंफर्ट जोन से निकलिए, देन ओनली द मैजिक विल हैपन। Otherwise, if you want to look at your vision and the future, you need to move out of your comfort zone. Remember this point. Then आप जब गोल सेट करते हैं तो सेट द गोल, मेक अ प्लान, गेट टू वर्क, स्टिक टू इट एंड रीच द गोल। सो ये उसके स्टेप्स हैं। आप जो जब गोल सेट करते हैं तो आपको प्लान करना पड़ता है उस गोल के लिए। उसके बाद आपको उस गोल पे उस प्लान पे आपको एग्जीक्यूशन करना पड़ेगा। उसके बाद आपको एग्जीक्यूट करने के बाद आपको स्टिक करना पड़ेगा। ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ एक दिन रात में उठे 3 बजे और उसके बाद दूसरे दिन भर सो गए जाके, नहीं। आपको जो स्टिक करना पड़ेगा कि ये मेरा टाइम टेबल है और मेरे को ये टाइम से ये टाइम पढ़ना है, ठीक है। तभी जाके आपका गोल सेट होगा, गोल अचीव होगा। ओके, देन ऑलवेज all we have is now your future is depend on what you do today, and your today is already started. आप अगर ये सोच रहे हैं कि आपका फ्यूचर किसी ने बहुत खूब कहा है कि आपका फ्यूचर डिपेंड ऑन व्हाट यू डू टुडे, आप आज क्या कर रहे हैं उस पर डिपेंड करेगा आपका फ्यूचर। एंड आपका आज ऑलरेडी स्टार्ट हो चुका है। It's 12 more than it's 12:13 only. It's 12:13. Your today is already started. यानी आपका फ्यूचर स्टार्ट हो चुका है। So whatever you need to do, आपको आज ही से स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा, राइट। डोंट थिंक कि कल से करूंगा, मंडे से करूंगा, कोई मुहूर्त निकालूंगा। नो, if you want to do a future, your vision, then you need to start the thing from today itself. Okay, then don't compare yourself with anyone in this world. If you compare, you are insulting yourself. Don't compare. वो उसको इतने मार्क्स आए, वो हर उसमें एग्जाम में पास होता है या होती है, उसको इतने ये। नो, डोंट कंपेयर, लुक एट योरसेल्फ। डोंट लिमिट योर चैलेंजेस। आपके क्या चैलेंजेस है? चैलेंज योर लिमिट्स। आपके चैलेंजेस ये आपके लिमिटेशन चैलेंजेस ये है कि जो फॉर एग्जांपल आप 4 घंटे से ज्यादा नहीं पढ़ सकते, सो चैलेंज योर लिमिट, स्टडी फॉर द 6 आवर्स, राइट? डोंट कंपेयर विद अदर्स, नो वन कैन। आपका रिजल्ट आपके पेरेंट्स देखने वाले हैं, आपके पेरेंट्स को खुशी होने वाली है, आपके भाई बहन खुश होने वाले हैं, आप खुश होने वाले हैं, आपके घर का नाम होगा, आपके पेरेंट्स की आंखों में आंसू आएंगे आपके अच्छे रिजल्ट से। सो डोंट कंपेयर अदर्स, उनका क्या होगा, इनका क्या, नो, डोंट लुक एट दैम, बिकॉज़ एग्जाम में यू नीड टू राइट द एग्जाम, राइट? तो आपको अपने आप को देखना है, डोंट कंपेयर योरसेल्फ, क्योंकि अगर आप अपने आप को पॉजिटिव से देखेंगे ना, देन यू आर द विनर, यू आर द टॉपर। अपने आप को जो वो लेवल पर जो देखिए अपने आप को। ओके, नेक्स्ट इज डोंट, आई डोंट वांट टू लुक बैक एंड से आई विश आई कुड हैव डन बेटर। आज है आपके पास, इसको गनीमत जानिए, यू हैव द टाइम। ये टाइम जो कल वापस नहीं आने वाला है। आप जो 1 महीने के बाद रिजल्ट आए बाद ये अगर सोचेंगे कि थोड़ा यार थोड़ा और पढ़ लेता, थोड़ा सा पढ़ लेता, तो शायद जो रिजल्ट कुछ और आता था। तो आपका जो आज, डोंट लुक एट बैक, आपको जो बाद में चांस नहीं मिलेगा। एक बार वक्त चला गया तो जो वापस नहीं आने वाला है। सो द पास्ट नेवर कम बैक। और अगर पास्ट में अगर आपसे कुछ फेलियर हुआ है तो जरूरी नहीं है कि वही चीज फ्यूचर में रिपीट होगा। आप लास्ट ईयर जो कुछ परसेंटेज कम आए तो जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको नेक्स्ट ईयर भी कम आने वाले हैं। डोंट लुक एट पास्ट, हैपन इज हैपन, दैट्स इट। आपको जो आज में जीना है, आपको फ्यूचर में जाना है, आपको आज से स्टार्ट करना है। सो दैट यू नीड टू डू, राइट? उसके बाद नथिंग इज इम्पॉसिबल। आप अगर ये सोचते हैं कि यार नहीं होगा मेरे से, नहीं होगा, मतलब ये नहीं होना, ये जो है ना, ये इट्स कॉल्ड नेगेटिविटी एंड इट्स सेइंग द इम्पॉसिबल। देयर इज नॉट इम्पॉसिबल, द इम्पॉसिबल वर्ड itself, I am possible. You need to erase that I am and make it possible. Nothing impossible, the word itself is I am possible. आपको जो जंप करना है, ऐसा नहीं है कि पहाड़ पे से जंप करना है ये इमेज को गलत मत लो इसका मतलब ये है कि वो आई एम से होते हुए आई एम को हटा के जैसे पॉसिबल पे जैसे जा रहा है, ठीक है? सो इम्पॉसिबल कोई चीज नहीं है, कोई इम्पॉसिबल नहीं है कि कोई दुनिया का कोई एग्जाम ऐसा नहीं है कि आप पास नहीं कर सकते। अगर ऐसा होता, कोई अगर हर चीज इम्पॉसिबल होती तो कोई टॉपर नहीं रहता था, या फिर कोई जो बड़ा साइंटिस्ट नहीं रहता था। एवरीथिंग इज पॉसिबल, ओके? सो ऑलवेज से दैट। एंड एक और एक चीज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, एक वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, दैट इज आई एम गेटिंग सम डिस्टर्बेंस, कैन समवन go on mute? Farhan Anjum, can you please go on mute? Yeah, okay, thank you. So लक क्या होता मालूम, अक्सर लोग अपने जो फेलियर को छुपाने के लिए लक के ऊपर जो डाल देते हैं कि भाई अपनी मैं अक्सर सुनता हूँ आम हमारे बच्चों से कि स्टूडेंट्स जनरली कि सर लक नहीं चल रही आजकल, या फिर अपनी किस्मत खराब है भाई बोल के। देयर इज नथिंग कॉल्ड लक, इट्स नॉट लक, इट्स हार्ड वर्क। आप जो ये मत बोलिए कि जो उसका लक अच्छा है बोल के फर्स्ट आया, उसका लक अच्छा है बोल के जो मेरिट में आया, उसका लक अच्छा है बोलकर उसको ज्यादा नहीं। he did a hard work.
No sir.
Right, he did a hard work. और luck is a hard work and realizing what is the opportunity. लक ये नहीं है कि जो बस किस्मत पे छोड़ दिया गया, नहीं। लक ये है कि आपको जो हार्ड वर्क करते हुए उस अपॉर्चुनिटी को ग्रैब करना है एंड मेक योर ओन लक। आप किस्मत पे जो बिल्कुल नहीं ढकल सकते कि जो आप एग्जाम में पढ़ेंगे ही नहीं और बोलेंगे कि यार लक में नहीं था इसलिए पास नहीं हुआ, लक में नहीं था बोल के फर्स्ट नहीं आया, नहीं। इट्स नॉट अ लक, इट्स अ हार्ड वर्क। रिमेंबर दिस पॉइंट, हार्ड वर्क प्लस अपॉर्चुनिटी इज इक्वल टू लक। आपको हार्ड वर्क करते हुए इस अपॉर्चुनिटी को ग्रैब करके जो अपने लक को हासिल करना है, राइट? उसके बाद एक हदीस आप लोगों को बताऊं कि व्हाट हैपन इज वन डे द होली प्रॉफिट सॉ अ पर्सन, एक शख्स जो अपने ऊंट को जंगल में जो रख कर कहीं जा रहा था। तो मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ही आस्क्ड हिम व्हाई डोंट यू टाई डाउन योर कैमल, आप अपने ऊंट को बांध क्यों नहीं देते? दैट पर्सन आंसर, आई पुट माय ट्रस्ट इन अल्लाह, मैं अल्लाह पे यकीन करता हूं। द प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम सेड tie your camel first then put your trust in Allah, यानी अपने कैमल को बांधो उसके बाद अल्लाह पर जो भरोसा करो। द सेम थिंग, द सेम एग्जांपल सूट फॉर एवरीवन। हम जो सो जो क्या कहेंगे, पहले स्टडी करें, पहले अपने आप का जो सो प्रिपेयर करें, एग्जाम दें, उसके बाद अल्लाह पे भरोसा करें कि अल्लाह जो सो हेल्प करेगा रिजल्ट में। आप उससे पहले आप कुछ करेंगे नहीं और बस ये करेंगे कि भाई अल्लाह ताला मदद करेगा, तो अल्लाह ताला जो सो मदद उनकी करता है जो पहले प्रिपेयर होते। ये याद रखिए, ये हदीस जो सो हाँ हर एक के लिए एग्जाम्पल है कि पहले जो सो आपको बांधना है ऊंट को, उसके बाद अल्लाह ताला पे तवक्कल करना है। आप जो सो पढ़ेंगे ही नहीं, आप जो सो अपने कंफर्ट जोन से निकलेंगे ही नहीं, आप जो सो अपने इम्पॉसिबल को पॉसिबल करने की कोशिश ही नहीं करेंगे, और उस वक्त जो सो आप और आप बोलेंगे कि जो सो मेरे को है मेरे को अल्लाह ताला पे भरोसा है और अल्लाह ताला जो सो पास कर देंगे, तो नहीं, अल्लाह ताला जो सो आपको पास करेगा, तवक्कल अल्लाह, लेकिन उससे पहले आपको जो सो एफर्ट्स भी लगाना है। ठीक है, सो रिमेम्बर दिस पॉइंट के कभी भी जो सो ये रिमेम्बर, ये याद रखना है कि टाई योर कैमल फर्स्ट देन पुट योर ट्रस्ट इन अल्लाह। अपने आप की अपनी तैयारी करो, उसके बाद अल्लाह ताला पे भरोसा करो, राइट। उसके बाद the last thing is whenever you are alone, remember yourself that Allah has sent everybody away so that it's only you and him। कि अपने अकेले में जब रहे तो अल्लाह ताला से मांगो, खुदा से मांगो, उससे अल्लाह ताला से पूछो, उनसे उनसे सवाल करो, किसी और के सामने ना झुको। आपको कोई चीज समझ नहीं आ रही, कोई मुश्किल है, कोई कोई चैलेंजेस है, तो वो चैलेंज के लिए अल्लाह ताला से रात में उठ के जो सो उनसे मांगो अल्लाह ताला से। ओके, रमजान इज द बेस्ट प्लेस। रमजान में जो सो तहज्जुद की नमाज में आप उठिए, उनसे जो सो मांगिए अल्लाह ताला से। ठीक है, अल्लाह ताला विल इंशाल्लाह गाइड यू। और कभी कभी क्या होता है, अल्लाह टाइमिंग्स आर परफेक्ट इन एवरी मैटर। वी डोंट ऑलवेज अंडरस्टैंड द विजडम बिहाइंड इट, बट वी हैव टू लर्न टू ट्रस्ट इट। कि जैसा अक्सर ये कुछ वक्त ऐसा होता है कि वो टाइम अलग होता है, अल्लाह ताला कुछ और चाहता है, उनके जो सो मसलियत कुछ और होती है। ठीक है, तो हमको जो सो उस चीज को समझना है और हमको उस पर ट्रस्ट भी करना है। ठीक है, एंड द लास्ट थिंग इज सक्सेस, इट इज द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ऑल थिंग्स, विजन, गोल्स, मेंटर, मोटिवेशन, टीम वर्क, इंस्पायर्ड। आपको इंस्पायर होना है लोगों से, आपको एक विजन रखना है, आपको जो सो टीम वर्क, आपके दोस्तों के साथ काम करना है, आपको गोल रखना है, आपको जो सो मोटिवेट होना है। तो ये सारे कॉम्बिनेशन के साथ जाकर जो सो एक सक्सेसफुल इंसान बनता है। एंड ऑलवेज ऑलवेज कभी भी जो सो अपना टारगेट हाई रखना। आप जैसे एवरेज रखेंगे तो पुअर आएंगे, आप गुड रखेंगे तो एवरेज आएंगे। ऑलवेज ट्राई टू हैव योर गोल एज एक्सेलेंट। तो आप always try to reach to the excellent, then only you will get to success. So with this I would say best of luck to everyone for your exam, and आपका सक्सेस वहां पर है, और एक की जो सो आपके हाथ में है, वहां पर वो जो रेड मार्क में दिख रहा है वो की है, बस आपको उसको कनेक्ट करना है एंड यू विल गेट योर सक्सेस। तो बेस्ट ऑफ लक फॉर एवरीवन and thanks a lot. With this note I will hand over the mic session to Mr. Subur. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jazakallah Khair, Mr. Nadeem sir. So we have completed all the 3 sessions. Before we proceed further, I am very thankful to the school management who has given opportunity to conduct this session in their premises. Like they have arranged a projector and everything. I very thankful to the management of the schools and individual audience who's joined individually from their homes. I'm thankful to them. I want to give an we have one organization that is called as Student Islamic Organization. So I request all the students, male students, to connect with us, so we will join with them so that you can get the updates of SIO, daily updates or weekly updates on your mobile from SIO. So for that, I request you to note down this number, and I will share this link also in the chat box so that you can register yourself there. From there you will we will be sharing the today's PPT which Mr. Rahmat has delivered, and a few important points of what are the you need to consideration in the Ramzan and for exams. So that we are going to share that one. So I shared the link in the chat. No, sorry. Yeah, I'm sharing that in the chat. I shared in the chat. Hope you able to see, right? Registration link is also there, and contact number is also there. You can write your name and send us to on WhatsApp number so that we will add in our group and you will get the updates and the important notes of this today's session. Once again, I am very thankful to the management of the school, all the school management and the audience. So if you have any questions, you can ask them. Raise your hand so that I will unmute you. Anyone having a question related to the today's topic? अगर
No,
किसी
sir.
ने सवाल है तो just they can raise hand or they can unmute themselves and they can answer. All right. If anybody having the questions later on also, they can register on this link so that we'll get the details of them and they can post the question on this contact number so that we can respond or we can give you an answer. Okay, Jazakallah Khair. Thank you so much. And,
Thank you, sir.
all and best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jazakallah Khair.
Okay, everyone, best of luck for your exams.
Thank you so much, sir.
Sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jazakallah Khair.